Hello YouTube, and welcome back to another crafting lesson. This is going to be a juicy one. You're going to learn how to craft the most desired amulet in the endgame, tier 1 spirit, plus 3 proj, crit and ES, fully deterministically. There is not a shred of RNG anywhere in any step, where if you miss a slam, you brick anything or the base just goes away. I will not be skipping a single step, so start to finish. You will see everything, you will learn every single step, so there will be no confusions. This amulet, I've been seeing people do it in a very awkward, extra expensive way, so hey, let's do it the more cost-efficient way. Now this is going to be a relatively expensive crafting lesson, but the profit margins on this are massive, and you will see why. Please remember though that these costs are calculated at the time of recording, so they can change at any moment, sometimes even within hours of the videos going live. The Patreon subs have been having a blast with early access lately because it's just super easy to make profits. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. I answer every single comment regardless if you think it's a dumb question or not. Post it and I will answer it. With all that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're not subscribed, please do so. If you like the video, like it. If you dislike the video, dislike it. But that's enough yapping. Let's get crafting. Hey guys, Editor T here, and I'm editing the video right now. I was just about to finish editing this, and the amulet did sell, as you can see right here, 70 div. I put this up way lower because I wanted this to sell faster so that I can use the divines from this on for the next lesson. So there you go, proof that it can and does indeed sell within hours of you finishing the craft. If I put this up for more, it would have taken a little bit longer to sell, but it would have still sold. So there you go. Back to the video. Real quick, before I begin, I just want to thank all of you for all the recent support that you've been showing on videos. It's been really amazing interacting with all of you guys, some of you that joined the Discord, the others that comment. I've answered every single comment, and it's, except this one. Let's not look at that, but every single other comment on my channel, I've answered all of them, and it's just been a blast. I've even been getting more free members on the Patreon. I hope to add some stuff for the free people there, so I apologize that there's nothing, but yeah, it's just been really nice to see all the support, and I hope you guys continue to enjoy the videos. If there's anything specific that you want me to cover or teach, I'll be more than happy to, but yeah, I just wanted to quickly mention that and say from the bottom of my heart and the hearts of my two little cats, thank you. And now, on to the actual video. To start with your amulet, you want to go buy a bunch of solar amulets with tier 1 spirit on them. This can be any role of tier 1 spirit, it just has to be tier 1. Currently, these cost around 3 to 4 nulls, which is around a div each. If you can't find tier 1 solar amulet bases on trade, you can always get them from the Tujin Expedition vendor. If you like a video on how to do that, let me know in the comments. But hopefully these bases won't run out, at least not too fast. Once you have your bases, you want them to look a little something like this. Okay, so 3 mods, and then you desecrate a 4th mod. Now, how do you get your base to this point if you can't find them like this on trade? Well, I'll show you on this amulet. This currently has 5 random trash mods and the spirit mod. You want to take that amulet and then go get a random amulet, any base, any mods. You just want to make sure that it has a suffix of the lowest tier possible. So like tier 10, tier 9, life regen, resistances, whatever, it just has to be the lowest tier. Now this shouldn't cost you anything more than 1x. And don't worry about all these bases. All of the trade links are in the description. So you can just go down there and get your bases ready that way. So now, you'll put both these bases into the Recombinator. The way the Recombinator works is twofold. One, it is heavily weighted to pick the base that has the higher tier mod on it. So in this case, the item level 80 solar amulet on the left, and not the item level of 38 amulet on the right with the trash mod on it. And two, it allows you to select mods on each item and gives a chance to combine those mods into one item on the base that it chose previously. The more mods you select, the lower the chance, and the tiers of the mods also affect the chance. Okay, that's the TLDR. The chance cannot go above 50%, so it'll stay there. However, with an omen of recombination, it will make the recombination lucky, and that pushes the chance up to 75-ish%. which is pretty good. It can still fail, and if it does, you will need to go get a new base and a new trash base. So keep that in mind. Now you can cancel the animation by closing and reopening the Recombinator, but there you go, easy peasy, the base is ready. Now that we have a spirit and that random mod, now it's pretty simple. You just want to grab a random baby exalt, slam it once, and now your base looks exactly like how you want it to. 3 mods, and now you have the 4th mod would be a Desecration with a preserved collarbone, and now it is 3 mods and 1 Desecrated mod. Now comes time for the Fracturing Orbs. Now the reason we brought this down to 3 mods and 1 Desecration is because Fracturing Orbs need 4 mods on an item to fracture one of them. The fewer the mods, the more likely to hit the mod that you want to hit. The Desecration counts as one of those 4 mods, but it cannot be fractured, so it raises the chance to a 1 in 3 to hit the spirit here. So prepare around 4 amulets for this, just in case you don't hit it in the 1 in 3. Well, let's see how many I hit. Missed the first, missed the second, missed the third, and I missed the 4th. Okay, well, that's obviously quite unlucky. Didn't hit it in 1 in 3 or 1 in 4, but unlucky now, lucky later, right? Right? I'll be right back with another base. Alright, there we go. 5th amulet, hit it. Now even though I got unlucky on this, don't worry, this is going to be very profitable in the end regardless. Now this is the actual painful part. Now that you have your Spirit Fracture, you want to use 2 annuls to go down to 2 modifiers, and now you have to regular Chaos Orb spam this base until you hit +3 Proj. Now I'm not going to sugarcoat this, this is going to take a while. I have 131 Chaos Orbs here. That's not enough. You will need around 300 to 400 chaos to hit this, which will be around 18 to 15 div at the time of recording this. But don't worry, okay? Don't worry. I know that's a lot of money. That's a lot of divines just to chaos spam. Just take a deep breath, calm down. I know it's a lot, and I know a lot of you will hesitate in using that much currency, but it's all part of the process. The final item will be very, very, very worth it. This is the only scary part. After this, everything is going to be super easy. So just come along with me, okay? You want to go really slow and careful here. You do not want to roll over your +3. Now some people do this the other way. They fracture +3 Proj and then chaos spam for Spirit, because Spirit does have slightly higher weightage, but +3 Proj Solar Amulet bases just on their own are like 7 to 8 div. And you would have to buy 4 to 5 of those bases just to hit the fracture. And that's already triple the price of the Chaos Orbs you're going to spend on trying to roll +3 Proj on this. So don't do that. Don't worry, I'm not going to cut anything. You will see how much this is going to take so that you know nothing is fluffed and you have a full picture of what to expect if you do this yourself. I will, however, cut out the part of me doing the math on the most cost-efficient way to buy more chaos. In the end, I just decided to use divines. Holy fucking shit. I rolled over the +3 Proj. Even after I said earlier to be careful not to roll over the +3 Proj. Well, that's going to be something I'll be thinking of for the next couple of days. Yep, that's going to sting. But hey, that did take me around 300 or so Chaos Orbs to hit, as predicted. But okay, back to Chaos Jail, and slower this time. And hey, I'm still going to make profit on this. You know what the problem is? I cased my mushroom. You always have to rub your mushroom tip a little bit for good luck. Always. How could I forget? Come on, man. Come on, man. I rolled over it again. Well, time to get belligerently drunk. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. If you're doing this craft, do not do this while you're sleepy. Pay attention and go slowly. But okay, time to go back into Chaos Jail. Funnily enough, this is still going to be profitable. That's the crazy part, it's still going to be profitable. Done. There it is. I stopped. I did it. I just needed 3 shots of the special sauce in my system to slow me down. That took almost 40 something div when it's supposed to take 12 to 15 because I rolled over it twice. But hey, you know what? This was good. You got to see that it did take the number that I predicted thrice. It cost roughly 300 to 400 chaos every single time I rolled over it. So, I'm still going to make profit out of this, and you will see how in the end, even after doing the most monkey diddly do stupid shit imaginable twice. Now, the steps are very easy, but they do need to be explained. So, this is where I've seen a few people do this awkwardly that I mentioned at the beginning of this video. And I will talk about how they were doing it, so you can learn from it and avoid making similar mistakes in your future crafts if you decide to do some on your own. So, on this amulet now, we want to hit crit chance and crit damage bonus on the suffixes. But in order to do that, you will need a damage tag or a critical tag to be able to slam these with an homogenizing exalt, right? However, there are no crit tags on anything else on this amulet. It's not possible. There is a damage caster tag here, but if you roll that and you homogenize with this, you could hit cast speed and brick the amulet completely. And you really don't want to do that after you just lost all of your sanity chaos orbing in the previous step. So, the way I've seen other people do this, which is not very cost effective, is they desecrate the suffix and they keep re-rolling that suffix with Omen of Lights until they either hit crit chance or crit damage of any tier. Because that crit tag, that crit mod, adds the crit tag and then they homogenize for the other crit mod, and they use a perfect exalt for this because they want a high tier, right? And then they remove the desecration so that the slot opens up, and then they homogenize again to get whatever they just removed, but a higher tier. Okay, so you can see that with how expensive Omen of Lights are, trying to remove and reapply desecrations like this is just not feasible when there is obviously a better option that I'm going to tell you about now. So, instead of desecrating crit and then trying to remove it, you can instead just put on this Amanamu mod on the prefix. This has the damage and minion tag. Now there are no other minion tag modifiers except minion skills, but since Proj skills is already there, it blocks any other skill gem levels from rolling. So the only thing that can roll with this mod on a homogeneous exalt will be crit damage because of the damage tag on the suffix. And I will do this in a moment, so you'll see it in live if you're getting confused by my words here. But once you have that crit damage, now there's that crit tag, so another homogeneous suffix exalt after that will give you crit chance guaranteed. Now back in the game, before we do the suffixes, there's one more thing to do to the prefixes, so that we don't end up having to spend any Omen of Light afterwards. Now it's very simple, you've seen me do this a million times by now, in my own previous videos or others' videos, but you want to use a perfect essence of enhancement for global defenses. Now you will grab a random baby exalt and an Omen of Sinistral Exaltation and slam on a random prefix on your item like this. And then you will use an Omen of Sinistral Crystallization to remove that random prefix and give global defenses safely since your spirit is fractured. The reason we want to do this first before we apply the Desecration to try to get the minion damage mod is because this will block one of the mods from rolling so that we don't get super unlucky and actually don't see the mod that we want to see in our Desecration. Now we can move on to the Desecration step, which will be an Omen of Sinistral Necromancy with Omen of the Liege for the Amanamu mod, and then a Preserved Collarbone. Now you basically can't miss the mod. Right, so since we blocked global defense from rolling because it's already there, now you can only see the Amanamu mods that you want to see. So here I am in my uncle's basement, activate the Omen, click reveal, and there it is. The correct mod, and you toss it in, easy peasy. You can also type /hideout and grab the amulet before the loading screen shows up to sort of skip it, kind of. Now for the next step, and this is going to be the super fun one. Not being sarcastic this time, this is actually the fun one. So now we're going to be homogeneous, perfect exalting the base. This is where a lot of extra profit can happen if you hit high tiers of crit damage and crit chance. So you can only hit between tier 1 or tier 2. Surely I hit tier 1 after all the pain I went through, right? But you can't double slam this. So you do have to do this one by one. The first one will add crit damage, which has the damage in the crit tag, and then that crit tag will be used for crit chance. Okay, so here we go. Suffix exalt, homogeneous, perfect. Give me tier 1 crit damage, please. It's tier 2. It's tier 2 low roll. Of course it is. I'm about to reach for the bottle again, I swear. But it's okay. Now, just do it again. Hopefully we hit tier 1 crit chance now. Also tier 2. Well, that's okay. That's okay. Now you want to Omen of Light the Desecration on the prefix, and we're finally at the last step. Now there's two things you can do for the final step. You can either use an Ancient Collarbone to hit tier 1% ES or high tier rarity. If you hit any of those on your item, it will greatly boost the profits that you make in the end. But it is a little bit RNG because you can certainly miss those mods. Or you can use an Ulaman Omen and a Preserved Collarbone, which will guarantee that you hit increased evasion rating from equipped body armor. So this mod will make the overall amulet cheaper because it's just easier to hit, but I like the Ancient Bone for ES or higher tier rarity way more than this, so that's what I'm going to do here. No Ulaman Omen, just the bone. The only open slot here is the prefix, so just slam that Ancient Bone right in there, grab a reroll Omen, and go visit your uncle one last time. Now, the reason why this step might be a little bit painful is because there's a lot of prefixes that can roll here. Okay, that's why there's like a massive jump in profits for people who have rolled this mod on their amulet versus people who have not. So let me rub my little lead rocket. Give me what I need, please. Okay, rarity. There we go. Rarity is almost just as good as tier 1 ES. I'm taking that and I'm leaving with it. Now, tier 1 ES sells very quickly and very easily, but tier 2 rarity, good enough for me. Good enough for me. Now, it is almost done. It's not done quite yet. Now, since the rolls on that global defense and the other mods are also really low rolled, I am going to divine this once. It is going to be worth it, trust me. So all my RNG was obviously building up for this one epic divine moment, right? Boom. You know what? That's not bad. The implicit went up, the global defense went up, the crit chance went up, the crit damage somehow didn't move, but okay, I'm taking that. Now all that's left to do is just defense catalyst this up. That's the only thing you can do to make it look nice and dressed up. And there it is. Amulet is done. But did I actually make a profit on this or not? Let's find out. So the total cost of this entire craft was 5 div on getting the bases for the fracture, 1 div each base, 2 div for around 5 fracturing orbs, 0.5 div for the 2 annuls to make the item 2 modded, 40 div for all my sanity rolling over the +3 Proj twice. Otherwise, in reality, it's supposed to be a maximum of 15 div. So let's take 15 div here. 4 div total on the 2 perfect exalts plus the homogenizing omens. 3.5 div on the Omen of Light to remove the minion Amanamu mod. And 5 div on the Ancient Jawbone right in the end. And let's say 1 div for all these smaller omens and things combined. All of that sums up to 35 div. If you don't roll over it. If you roll over it twice, like I did, it'll be around 60 div. But you're not an idiot like me, right? You are a stable, smart person. So you got this. So overall, the amulet is 35 div. Now let's see how much it's actually worth to sell. So first, here I'm going to show you the percent ES bases with like tier 3 crit on them. These are not nearly as good as mine, even with the ES. Similar ones are around 80 div, which is pretty good, right? But now if I check rarity, which I have on the amulet, it's just about the same. Ignore this one, it's sanctified. So the other ones are 80 div. My amulet is better than this. It has more spirit, mine has more global defense. But yeah, there you go. A roughly 80 to 85, maybe 90 div amulet if you can settle with selling it a bit slow, or if you want to sell it fast, put it up for 70 and it will sell relatively quickly. If you look at this amulet right here, right, this has double tier 2 crit and it's not even high roll on anything. If you hit tier 1 of even one of the crit mods or both of them, look at this. It's over 100 div if you hit tier 1 rolls on the crit mods. And for me, even after bungling it up twice, I'm still making like 10 to 15 div profit on it. But will I ever get my sanity back? Who knows? But that's all for the heck is this in my face? So that's all for the +3 Proj amulet crafting lesson. I hope you all learned a thing or two or found the video fun to watch. But that'll be all from me. Thank you all again for the amazing support. It's just awesome. Now go out there and cause some chaos and make some epic crafts. Bye-bye. And a huge shout out to all my patrons, Marcus, Axel Jacobs, Sebi2k, Bridgeburner. You guys are amazing. I can't thank you guys enough. Your support is so surreal. Just doesn't even seem real sometimes when I wake up in the morning. So thank you so much, as well as that one anonymous guy who doesn't want to be named. I know you, I think of you, thank you too. Bye-bye.